Welcome to this walkthrough guide on Office file editing in Gmail. You're in Gmail. Someone has sent you a Word document. You need to make just one small edit. And instead of doing just that, you're downloading the file, opening it somewhere, making the change, saving it, hunting for it in your downloads folder, going back to Gmail, reattaching it, and sending it. 7 steps for one edit. Well, Google has just finally shipped something that fixes this properly. You can now edit docx, xlsx, and pptx files directly from Gmail, without needing to download them, without converting them to a Google format, and with a single button to reply with the edited file already attached. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works, how to use it, and how to get the most out of it. So, let's get started. I've got a Word document attached to an email here. It's a standard docx file, so it's got the usual formatting, tables, headers, the usual stuff that you would find in a Word document. When you hover over the attachment, you now get 3 buttons: Download, Add to Drive, and a brand new pencil icon, which says Edit with Google Docs. That last one is the brand new option, and it's the one that matters to us the most here. I'm going to click that pencil icon. Now, watch what happens. Google Docs opens in a brand new tab. The file is open and ready to edit. But if you'll take a look at the top of the screen, up in the title bar area, it doesn't just say Untitled Document or simply show us the Google Docs icon. It shows the original file name and the docx extension. And there's a note that tells you that you're working in Office compatibility mode. This is the key thing. The file hasn't been converted. It hasn't been turned into a Google Doc. It's still a docx file that's being edited using Google Docs as the editing tool. Think of it like how your phone can open a PDF without needing to convert it to a phone-native format. The file format is preserved, and you're just viewing and editing it through a different interface. So now I can make my edits. Now, as you'd expect, the editing experience is exactly what you'd normally get from Google Docs. So formatting, styles, track changes, comments, the whole lot. Now, if you're comfortable in Google Docs, you'll immediately feel comfortable here. And as I'm editing, you can see that the file is auto-saving. But it's not saving it to my Google Drive as a Google Doc. It's saving it in the original Office format. docx is being preserved throughout. And the same workflow applies for xlsx and pptx files. The edit button will appear on all 3 formats in your Gmail. Click it, Google Sheets or Slides will open up in a new tab, compatibility mode will be active, and the file will stay in its original format throughout. The one thing worth calling out specifically for Excel files: if the spreadsheet contains macros, VBA scripts, or ActiveX controls, you'll likely get a compatibility warning. Those things don't natively run in Google Sheets. But for most business spreadsheets, so standard data, formulas, formatting, it's basically a non-issue. But if your file is macro heavy, just be aware of that up front. Otherwise, the pattern is identical. So you click the edit button, open in the corresponding Google app, file stays in its Office format, and then there's one clean way to get it back to the sender. Which brings me to the part of this feature that I think is the most impressive. So right, you've managed to edit the file, and it's still in its original format. Now what? This is where the old workflow would have had you downloading the file from Google Drive, going back to Gmail, and attaching it manually. And honestly, if that was all that was still required, this feature would be fine. But not exactly a game changer. But I'm glad to say that Google didn't stop there. Inside the open document, when you're in Office compatibility mode, you go to File in the top menu, and you'll find a new Email submenu. And it's worth pausing here for a second because there are actually a few options in here, not just the one that we're going to cover now. You've got Reply with this file, which is the main one we're going to focus on, but you've also got the option to open the original email that the file came from, which is handy if you ever need to go back and compare something you were asked to change. There's also email as attachment to compose a brand new email with this file attached, which is useful if you want to forward the edited document to someone who wasn't on the original thread. Email collaborators is there if you're working on the document with multiple people and want to loop them all in at once. And there's email draft, which does something slightly different. It inserts a Google Docs building block directly into your document, so if you're actually wanting to draft your reply email inside the document itself before sending, you can do that. However, for most people, the two you'll use constantly are reply with this file and email as attachment. Everything else is situational, but it's good to know that it's there. So, reply with this file. Go ahead and click that. And what you'll see is that Gmail opens. But it's not just a blank compose window. It opens the specific email thread that this attachment came from with a reply preloaded, and the edited file has already been attached. The file that's attached is the Office format file, the docx or the xlsx or the pptx. It's not a Google Docs link. It's not a downloaded copy. It's the actual edited file ready to go. You just add your reply text and then hit send. Now think about what just happened. You've received a Microsoft Word document in your Gmail. You opened it in Google Docs, you've edited it in Google Docs, and replied to that email with the updated file, all without leaving Google's ecosystem and without a single file needing to touch your downloads folder. The whole thing has been done in the browser. And the person on the other end receives a proper Office format attachment. So if they're on Outlook, they can open it in Word and everything looks right. It's a closed loop. And that's it. You can edit docx, xlsx, and pptx files directly from Gmail, keep them in their original format throughout, and reply with the edited file attached in one click. Honestly, this is the kind of feature that doesn't make a flashy headline, but makes a real difference to how much friction you have in your workday. It's not glamorous, but if you're in a mixed Microsoft and Google environment, and most of you probably are, it removes a genuinely annoying part of your workflow. And if you've got questions about something I didn't cover, or you've found an edge case that I haven't mentioned, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to check out the channel. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.